He's naming the Kennedy Center after his wife? That's kind of sweet. He's naming the Kennedy Center after... Wait, what? Wasn't it a law that he had to sell TikTok?
It started as just another hilarious segment, Bill Maher poking fun at the Trumps live on TV. But when he painted Melania as trapped in a gilded cage, the laughter turned into gasps. Within hours, Trump was on Truth Social seething, calling Maher's humor traitorous. Just how much truth is hidden in Maher's jokes? Before we move on, I would like you to subscribe to the channel and like the video. What happens when a comedian grabs America's most infamous power couple and dangles them under the world's most unflattering spotlight? That's exactly what Bill Maher did in his latest live appearance, leaving jaws on the floor and social media ablaze. Known for his fearless comedy and refusal to tiptoe around touchy subjects, Maher did what he does best, turning the uncomfortable into comedy gold. This time, though, his target wasn't just Donald Trump. It was the image of the man and his ex-model wife, Melania.
Melania Trump has been in the news a lot lately. I was talking about her in the monologue, and she's on the cover of Us Weekly with this cover, my side of the story. All the stars do it. Tim Gunn has done it. If you have his, he'll be out here in a minute, and I did it. It's practically a rite of passage. You have mine, there you go. In Slovenia, I was a catalog model, which is what you call a model you order out of a catalog. I have no first language. I hope I inspire little girls everywhere to marry for money.
As the ultimate love story that has been plastered across magazine covers, Maher wasn't pulling any punches. Kicking things off, he suggested that Melania's relationship with Trump looked about as warm and authentic as a staged photo op. Then came the sting. He compared Trump, a native New Yorker known for his brash, bold persona, to Slovenia's cuisine, dry, bland, and a little hard to swallow. And Melania? Maher didn't even try to soften the blow with a joke about being First Lady. Instead, he doubled down on calling her a captive in high heels, trapped in a lavish yet icy fairy tale of big gold towers and bigger egos. It wasn't just the comparison, it was the imagery. You could almost hear the stiletto heels clicking down a marble hallway lined with gold-plated mirrors. But this wasn't just Maher going on a roasting spree. He got personal, claiming that Melania's often robotic demeanor wasn't a coincidence. The next time Trump says, "I love you, just watch her," he quipped, "The silence isn't because she's shy, it's because she doesn't believe him either." That line was a gut punch, not only to their marriage, but to the manufactured performances we've seen over the years. According to Maher, Melania's public displays are less a reflection of love and more of a role she plays. She stands by Trump's side with the same conviction as someone waiting for their contractually obligated lunch break, when the self-proclaimed king of comebacks can't handle a punchline.
I copied this list from Michelle Obama. Sometimes when I bounce light off my diamond, Donald's hair will chase it like a cat. I wish I knew why I have a recurring dream I'm pinned beneath a giant orange sack of shit. And if I could tell my younger self just one thing, it would be this. If you catch a leprechaun and he gives you one wish, be more specific.
It's usually a sign the joke landed harder than anyone expected. Bill Maher's roast of the Trump marriage didn't just ruffle a few feathers. It reportedly sent Donald Trump into full meltdown mode. According to insiders and reports, as soon as Maher's segment aired, Trump went into overdrive. Pacing around like a madman, he lashed out at staff, muttering about disloyalty and cracking sarcastic comments that no one dared laugh at. But it didn't stop there. He soon took to his favorite digital soapbox, Truth Social, calling Maher's comedy traitorous humor and unleashing a classic Trump-style rant about how comedians were part of a bigger plot to disrespect greatness. Clearly, the former president wasn't exactly laughing along. What really seemed to sting the most wasn't just Maher's routine. It was the unrelenting spotlight placed directly on Trump's marriage, the one piece of his image that's always felt like a carefully choreographed performance. The idea of viewers around the country picturing Melania as a captive in high heels, as Maher put it, or comparing her expressions on stage to someone enduring a bad forced photo shoot, seemed to strike the exact nerve Trump didn't want exposed. According to those close to him, this wasn't just irritation, it was a full-blown defense operation.
You are not to leave your girdle on the bathroom floor. You are not to ask for hand. You are not to ever again mention the bride catalog's return policy. We're not allowed to eat Wendy's in bed. Tell Wendy I can hear her.
Staff reportedly scrambled to come up with media strategies to deflate the attention. Some suggested releasing cheerful, coupley photos of Trump and Melania to counteract the narrative, while others, according to reports, likely avoided eye contact altogether before being dragged into the crossfire. Meanwhile, the most noticeable reaction wasn't from Trump at all. It was Melania's lack of one. Silence isn't new for her, but in this case, it was deafening. She hasn't commented, posted, smiled for a camera, or even done something as small as release a vague, generic Instagram post that could distract from the moment. And really, it says more than any statement ever could. With Trump foaming at the mouth on Truth Social, calling Maher's jokes vicious lies, and anyone laughing at them a loser, Melania's quiet disappearance only amplified the questions. Was she brushing it off because she didn't care? Or was her silence agreement? Her history of staying out of political firestorms tells its own story.
His name is Barron, and he's our son. Stop asking who's the kid. When I say I love you, do not reply with you're welcome. If I say jump, I'd like to see that. You must at least consider drinking or whatever else will put you to sleep.
When controversy swirls, Melania typically steps aside, offering a serene, almost distant presence. But this time, it didn't feel like a detached bystander moment. It felt like she left Trump holding the entire bag, letting him struggle to manage an already burning narrative. While Trump scrambled to protect his brand, Melania's lack of even a performative defense made people wonder whether Bill Maher's metaphor of her feeling trapped was closer to the truth than comedy. Twitter, TikTok, late-night hosts, they weren't just laughing at Maher's roast. They were pulling up countless clips of Melania glaring at Trump's back, slapping his hand away, or rolling her eyes. In a moment where unity was expected, her silence gave the world every reason to think Maher nailed it. Now Trump is no stranger to being criticized, but humor digs at him in a way few other things do. Psychology experts often mention how satire cuts through defenses because it points to hidden truths people already suspect. That's why Trump's obsession with commanding the narrative about his image is so integral to his brand. Unlike policy criticisms, personal jabs at his family life undermine the golden gloss public persona he's spent decades cultivating.
Or not to look at a single girl. I am allowed to do a phone check whenever I please. You are not to get mad at me about a single thing I ever do. Apparently this is catching on, and a lot of women are doing this now. We got a hold of Melania's list. I don't know if you'd like to, but these are her rules. You are never to take longer than 10 minutes to text me back. You are not to ask for head, and no, this is real. So
a family man, a winner, a respect-commanding patriarch, that's been part of the pitch. When Maher suggested the Trump marriage was closer to a real estate deal than a love story, it tapped exactly into the insecurities he's worked hardest to bury. The combination of Trump's explosion and Melania's quiet retreat created a fascinating paradox. On the one hand, Trump's over-the-top reaction validated the jokes. If they hurt this much, could Maher have hit a little too close to reality? On the other, Melania's detached demeanor only poured more fuel on the fire. Social media users noticed immediately. If Melania blinking twice means she's okay, then does complete silence confirm she's not? Joked one viral post, while another called it the loudest non-reply ever. The takeaways weren't just memes or GIFs, though. The public started to draw conclusions that perhaps Trump and Melania's unity was another scripted fantasy, like their glittering parade of campaign photos or grand ballroom appearances. Trump's furious ranting may have been an attempt to defend his marriage, but most saw it as a man fighting to protect his brand. Melania's refusal to play into damage control only highlighted that difference. People weren't wondering if Maher's roast struck a chord. They were figuring out which note was sour enough to make Trump unravel. And maybe the real question isn't whether Maher hit too hard or if Trump overreacted. The real question is this: was Trump fuming in defense of his marriage, or just the brand he's built around it? Bill Maher's roast wasn't just a comic jab. It tore into the very essence of the Trump's public image. By throwing humor at their marriage, Maher reminded everyone how easily a polished facade can crack. His point? It's hard to tell where the branding ends and the authenticity begins, and maybe that's the heart of it. In a world full of rehearsed smiles and picture-perfect personas, Comedy has a funny way of pulling back the curtain. If one joke rattled this much, you have to ask, how many truths are hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone to laugh them out?